Hello again, this is Tube Radio's Rule. This is my second YouTube video. Today we've got a 1942 General Electric LC-628. This is a radio-phonograph combination that was made in 1942. It would have been among the last radios made for consumer use and sale before all the manufacturers switched over to wartime production somewhere around April of 1942. The sticker on the phonograph pickup cartridge is dated March of 1942, so this would have been a fairly late one. It's got a slide rule type tuning dial. Goes from 550 kilohertz to 1700 kilohertz, which back then would have been the lower end of the police radio dial. Now it's the upper end of the modern AM radio dial. It's got 4 controls on it. From left to right, it's the tone control. It's only got 2 settings, low and or high and low. Then it's got the on-off volume switch. The next one is the tuning knob, and the last one is to switch between radio and phonograph. Fairly sensitive set for what it is. It has 6 tubes. It's a transformerless circuit, what a lot of people call an AC-DC circuit, since most transformerless sets were meant to be used on either AC or DC. They had both back in that era. This particular radio, though, according to the instructions, was intended to be used only with AC. I'm guessing probably because of the phonograph motor. I'm sure it would probably function, at least the radio would function on DC current, but I suspect that the phonograph, the turntable motor, is actually an AC only motor, or at least might not rotate at the correct number of RPMs for DC. Turn it on. Give it a little bit to warm up here. Don't get very many AM stations around here, and most of them are talk stations. If I turn the volume all the way up, I can pick up a station that's in Escanaba fairly faintly, a couple of 100 miles away.
There's no reason in the world you should
Rush Limbaugh on one of our local stations.
There's no reason in the
Escanaba station should be right about here. Yep, there it is. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's pretty faint, but it's listenable if you got good ears. It's the only station I can pick up that actually plays music.
Could be consecrated to the Blessed Mother. I mean, most people, I think,
local Catholic radio station, Baraga Network. Another talk station.
But for the time spent, decorator and blogger Jenny Commenda of the Little Green Notebook.
Another talk station.
Suggestions.
For your laundry room, make it a front.
Sometimes you can pick up a Christian station and a sports station in there, but not always. The other feature of this, I mentioned before, is a 78 RPM phonograph. It's only a single play turntable. Had a crystal cartridge originally, an Astatic L26-A. If you look, you can see the thumb screw. It's meant to take steel gramophone type needles that need to be changed frequently, hence the thumb screw. Allows for quick change of the needles. You can see the little rubber cup. In fact, I have, I don't know if the lighting is good enough, but I have a steel needle sitting in that cup. But I have a sapphire needle in the tone arm right now, so that lasts quite a bit longer and I think sounds better too. But I figured I'd put in a record appropriate for this particular set on here. The record is, I don't know if you can read that or not. It's DECCA number 18498, Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition. It was a patriotic song that topped number 8 in the U.S. charts in 1942. We'll put that on there and play it. Turn the turntable on.
Down went the gunner, a bullet was his fate. Down went the gunner, and then the gunner's mate. Up jumped the sky pilot, gave the boys a look, and manned the gun himself as he laid aside his book.
Shout,
Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Praise the Lord and swing into position. Can't afford to be a politician. Praise the Lord, we're all between perdition and the deep blue sea. Yes, the sky pilot said it. You've got to give him credit, for a son of a gunner was he. Shout and praise the Lord, we're on a mighty mission. All aboard, we're not a-going fishing. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Praise the Lord and swing into position. Can't afford to be a politician. Praise the Lord, we're all between perdition and the deep blue sea. Oh brother, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. Oh brother, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. Oh brother, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Oh brother, praise the Lord, we're on a mighty mission. Oh brother, all aboard, we're not a-going fishing. Oh brother, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Yes, the sky pilot wrote it. Join me while I quote it. There's a plenty religion for you and for me. Shout and praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Shout and praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free.
Sounds pretty good for a 71-year-old. Probably was a fairly inexpensive set of the time. And in case any of you were wondering about in the background, that is the 33 RPM soundtrack album for the 1977 Rankin Bass animated version of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. My dad got that for me over 30 years ago. Shortly after the cartoon came out, it was one of my favorite shows at the time, and now my kids enjoy it. So, until next time, this is Tube Radio's Rule.